Recording in progress.
I started.
That's not a video, right? Cool.
Coach,
Who wants to start?
Coach, how the 2.5 weeks been between games for you? What are the things that you benefited most from that break, you think?
On a personal level, I benefit from some much needed time off with my family, and that goes, I think, for the rest of the staff and team and all of their families. So that's wonderful. Professionally, also profited. Got to build and implement some training sessions, which we haven't been able to do what it feels like for the entire season, which was great. We got to work on some of the traits and habits and behaviors that make us LAFC.
Have you been tuning into the Leagues Cup players about how have you seen the tournament unfurl here?
Yeah, it's been a little bit of everything. There's been some great games. There's been some not so great games, I guess I'll put it. A little bit of everything. Some excellent individuals, some interesting team performances and tactics. So a little bit of everything. But I think kind of standard of group phase play in any tournament. And we'll see how this plays out in the later rounds. But so far, so good.
What do you make of Juarez? What do you make of Juarez? What you saw of him out of the group stage, and what do you think they'll bring to you on Wednesday?
From what I can see on video and the games we've watched, and obviously we track Liga MX as well. A well-coached team, a team with a lot of players who have real high football IQs, players and who can interchange in positions, play different positions. When you give them time and space, they will punish you, making it difficult for them and disrupting their rhythm will be our objective defensively. And obviously with the ball, putting them into a deeper defending position and making them move laterally should create some windows and opportunities for us as well. So these are some things we'll be looking to do or looking to implement tomorrow night.
And with your group, you healthy out of the break? You feel like you guys have, with the players that were injured coming in over the 2.5 weeks, everybody's recovered and ready to play?
Slowly but surely, getting guys back. Everybody, obviously, except Eddie Segura and currently Timmy Tillman, who are not currently in training. Everybody else is in training. Theoretically could be in game, but are still missing a little bit of training load to get them into games. Guys like Murillo or Palencia.
What happened to Timothy?
Just lower extremity. Nothing really to report, but needs a couple more days.
Any other questions here in person?
Steve, of course, one of the big talks about this tournament is Messi. How have you seen those games? And are you surprised of just the performance of Inter Miami?
Yeah, it's been great. The attention, the buzz around it, the excitement around a club that hasn't been that exciting so far. So it's fantastic, and I'm really happy for Miami and the people who work there and will be able to put this all together. I'm happy for the league, and first and foremost for the fans. It's wonderful to have the greatest player maybe of all time in our league and in LA in a couple of weeks. So his impact has been immediate. It's been off the field but also on the field for Miami, and he's still able to control and affect games, and he'll be able to do it for a long time. So it's all of a sudden a team to reckon with, and we'll see how they continue to strengthen themselves. But so far they've done a great job with that. It's all positive. I think I'd be lying if I didn't say nobody expected it to have that big of an immediate impact on the field. So all the more reason to congratulate Miami on their good work.
Steve, just jumping directly into the knockout stages here, what does that challenge have where, the other teams have had a couple games in this tournament and you're brand new to it?
Challenges, I don't foresee any. You can ask me the same question after the game, then I may be able to allude to some challenges. We've had plenty of games this season to, or put it this way, I can't, after that, having that many games already in the season, I just can't sit here and say that we're not in rhythm. This is nothing new. This has not been that long of a break. If anything, I think there's some advantages to get some fresh legs and to get that eagerness and hunger back to play and compete.
Steve, how close is Hervey Lozano to the club, and what do you like from him?
I don't know. I have no comment for you.
And have you seen playing him?
Of course I know who he is as a player. He's a fantastic player. He's a wonderful player. There's about 10,000 other wonderful players on the planet.
We're going to take a couple questions from the media on Zoom. Let's start with John Lupo. Go ahead, John.
Thank you. Steve, just a two-part question. You just mentioned that you don't think there'll be any disadvantages from having so much time off, but having not played for about 2.5 weeks, what are some of the things you'll be able to look for early in the match that'll tell you that the team is in rhythm and playing the way you want to, in the style and the structure that you want to play? And the second part of my question is, I've noticed with most of these Liga MX teams, they're very technical, they're very good on the counter-attack and in transition. So what'll be some of the keys for you guys to be able to limit Juarez when they get in transition, when they have those moments?
Yeah, sure. We have our KPIs for our game model and what we look out for in games, and I think anytime we can get beyond the opponent's back line with the ball, box entries, and winning balls in the opponent's half, and creating moments of pressure that makes it more difficult for them to play. If we can see that in the first half, then we'll be quite happy with how things will go, and that should move the bar to our favor. Nothing new that we've seen from the teams from Liga MX. What we're seeing in this tournament that we haven't known or seen before. They're obviously all very well schooled. Their tactical foundation is excellent. Their understanding of the general football principles, playing and going, combination play, when to go fast, when to go slow, when to take tempo out, how to disrupt a counterattack from opponent, and how to expose teams on the counter. Like I said, nothing new, but general principles that I think maybe every team in that league exercises on a regular basis very well. Something we can certainly learn from in our league. But we also have some advantages where I think Liga MX can learn from and take from us.
Great, good luck.
Next question, Orlando Castellan.
Gracias, buenas tardes, profe. Orlando Castellán, del Servicio Informativo de Deportes aquí en la Ciudad de México. ¿Qué tan complicado va a ser el partido de mañana contra Juárez? Y si para ustedes, más allá que dice que no es una ventaja el haber no tenido participación en la primera fase, pero cómo llega el equipo, cómo llega el grupo para este encuentro, y si realmente ustedes se sienten favoritos en esta llave para seguir avanzando a lo que sigue en esta Leagues Cup.
If I understood the question properly.
Kind of repeated about the having the break.
Having the break, not being the first group, being the favorites.
Yeah.
Thank you for your question. I think it's for us, and I'll repeat my answer earlier, having already played, I believe, 33 games this current season, kind of the halfway mark. I don't feel having a break in between games can hurt us. I think it's more of an advantage to get some fresh legs, and like I said, to bring back that kind of competitive spirit that leaves your body when you do play games every Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday for a very long time. So what I can tell you and my observations from our training is players are eager to get back on the field again to compete, and I believe that's an advantage. For us, any competition we play in, we want to win. We don't necessarily see ourselves as favorites, but we do expect a lot out of ourselves as our fans expect out of us. So we try to win as many games as possible, and any competition we enter, we want to win, and that goes for Leagues Cup as well.
Cool. Thank you, everyone. This will be this conclude today's portion with Coach. We're going to grab a couple players here, starting with Carlos Vela in a couple moments.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Steve.